The corridor of the school was bustling with students. Two figures were walking down the hallway. It was Omar and Zara. Today at school, they were showing off their couple bracelets to their friends. Zara had her head resting on Omar's shoulder. Both of them were laughing. Suddenly, a boy from their class, Furkan, appeared beside them. "Hey, Zara," he said, extending his hand toward her. Zara looked at him, and then at Omar. She intertwined her fingers with Omar's. "I'm sorry, but I'm not interested." Furkan's face fell. He turned around and walked away dejectedly. When they reached their classroom, there were a few minutes before the start of the lesson. Zara pulled out a piece of paper from her bag and began writing something on it. She passed the note to Omar, who was sitting in front of her. He unfolded it and read, "Do you want to go to the cinema this weekend? I'll buy the tickets." A wide smile spread across Omar's face. He took out another sheet of paper and wrote, "Of course. Which movie do you want to watch?" Zara leaned over and snatched the paper from his hand. She read it and giggled. "Let's watch a horror movie," she whispered. Omar nodded his head, his eyes twinkling with mischief. He leaned closer to Zara and whispered, "I have something to tell you." Zara's heart skipped a beat. Was he going to break up with her? Just as she was about to speak, the bell rang. The students settled down at their desks and the teacher entered the classroom. Omar shot a quick glance at Zara, a playful smirk on his lips. He knew that their secret was safe with her. The day went by quickly. After school, Zara and Omar met up at their usual spot under the old oak tree. They talked about everything and nothing, just enjoying each other's company. As the sun began to set, it was time for them to part ways. "I'll see you tomorrow, right?" Omar asked, hoping that Zara would say yes. "Of course," she replied, a blush creeping up her cheeks. Meanwhile, Zara's mother was preparing dinner. Her father sat across from her, his gaze fixed on his newspaper. "Mom, can I go out tomorrow?" Zara asked, knowing that her mother would agree. "Where do you want to go?" her mother asked, glancing up from her cooking. "To the cinema with my friends?" Zara's mother nodded her head, but Zara's father suddenly slammed his newspaper on the table. "You're not going anywhere," Zara's heart sank. Why did Dad have to be so strict all the time? Her mother gave her father a sharp look. "Don't be mean, honey. Let her go out with her friends. It'll do her some good." "I don't want her to go to the movies," her father said stubbornly. "There's nothing wrong with going to the movies," Zara protested. Her father stood up from his chair. "That's enough. You're not going anywhere." With that, he stormed out of the kitchen, leaving Zara and her mother behind. Zara couldn't believe her father. What had he done? She loved watching movies with her friends. She glanced at her mother, who had a sad expression on her face. Suddenly, the thought of asking Omar for help crossed her mind. She took out her phone and dialed his number. On the other end, Omar picked up the call. "Hello!" His voice was filled with concern. "Is everything okay?" Zara explained what had happened. "Oh, I'm sorry," he said, feeling bad for her. "Don't worry, I'll talk to my dad and convince him to let you go." "Really?" Zara's face lit up with joy. "Thanks, Omar." And with that, they hung up. Zara went to her room and changed into more comfortable clothes. She sat on a bed, waiting for Omar's call. Soon, her phone rang. She picked it up and brought it to her ear. "Hello," she answered. "Ready?" Omar asked. "Ready for what?" Zara pretended to be confused. "For Operation, Dad." Omar explained his plan to her. Zara listened intently. When he was done, she burst out laughing. "That's brilliant," she said. "I can't wait." Later that evening, Zara and Omar were at the cinema, enjoying a romantic movie. They cuddled close to each other, sharing a bucket of popcorn. They didn't care about the movie. They were too busy being in love. As the movie ended and the credits rolled, Omar took Zara's hand in his. "I love you," he whispered. "And I love you too," she replied.